Hi, everyone. Hi, friends. This is Mary Ann here today, and happy National Scrapbooking Day. I'm very excited to be here and share a few new things with you, recap a little bit about what Ginger has gone over already, and share some of my designs, share some of my favorite items, and also to craft and create with you today. I am hoping that you are enjoying your weekend, and I am hoping that you're also getting a lot of crafting in. I hope that you've placed your order, got your free gifts, got your free sketches. Um, what else is going on around here? There's so much new product, and I am going to shake this just a little bit. Sorry about that. Hi, Beverly. Happy that you're here. I'm so glad everyone's here today. We're going to get started in just a couple of seconds, but as you see here in front of me, our biggest release this weekend is our Cheerful Kitchen Kit. It's a little retro, a little bright, and a whole lot of fun. I really like the faces, which I did not think I was going to like as much as I do. So the shapes are super fun. The sentiments are extremely witty and cheeky. I do love that. Ginger does such a great job with the cheekiness of the sentiments that match the shakers that she's created. I mean, in her mind, just imagine how her mind works with creating this teapot and trying to come up with sentiments that match and designs in her head the way she thinks that it's going to be used. And then she gives all of that freedom over to the designers without us seeing her samples. So we create what we think is the way we should create with the items. And it's so fun. And then it's fun to see what she creates and for her to see what we create as designers, because it's never the same. And that's a lot of fun. So welcome to National Scrapbooking Day. It's actually today. We are having a weekend-long event that is going to end on May 3rd at midnight. So it's tomorrow night, I believe, by midnight. So we have a couple of things going on right now. Excuse me. We have, over on our royalty program, our Facebook royalty Facebook page, actually, we have some contests for you to win gift cards. You answer a couple of questions that Ginger has generated over there. With answering those questions, simply answering those questions, you may be the winner of a gift card for Queen & Company. So get over there, join that club, and be sure to make a comment on everything, because it just ups your chances of winning a prize. So today, I am going to just go over a few of my samples from the fun Cheerful Kitchen Kit. You've seen these on Ginger's live. She showed some samples. She didn't show all of them, but I will go just through mine. I don't have the capabilities that she does of fancy capabilities and professional capabilities that she has of sharing other people's items unless I print them out myself. So I'm just going to share what I have, what I thought was super fun about it. I love this paper pad or this piece of paper from the paper pad in the Cheerful Kitchen Kit. I love the two new foundation dies that layer perfectly together. I raised this one up with foam tape, so that makes this card a little chunky to mail. You will have to have additional postage, and I don't want it to damage either, so I would probably put it in a padded envelope. If I like you enough for you to receive one of my shakers through the mail, I'm going to pad it for you. So I'll also hand these to people, and most of the people I give them to are my friends locally. So I really, really love this one. Hope your day is chill, and it's a nice cold refrigerator. This one is my favorite. I did not think I would like the microwave as much as I did or do. I love the silver gems inside to kind of match the silver buttons or the gray buttons here. It gives a little bit of a mechanical type of a look, I think. And then the cutting board from our previous foundation set And then, of course, I put a whole bunch of flowers around here to girlify it, I guess, if you will. Sending you warmth and love. So I'm going to heat up something in the microwave, and that's going to send the warmth. Isn't that cute? A little cheeky. I also like the colors in this one. I went with a red pot. I do have some La Crusette dishes that my husband gives me for Christmas, and that's the only time I get them. I will never buy them on my own on a Tuesday. And all of mine are red, so I wanted to go with red and highlight this paper pad and the reds that come in the paper pad. This paper pad just works magic. I need another paper pad. Wendy, if you're listening, I'm going to have to get myself another one. But I did something that the other designers did not do. I put this is from one of the new foundations, 38 and 39. I put them where the seam was in the center. They flipped them and had them going this way on their cards. That is brilliant. Oh, I also used the same thing here and just trimmed it. But I did it where it came together, and it's kind of like a wonky oval. Super cute. Loved it. Salt and pepper shaker, which is really cute. And you're my favorite hot mess. I think this one might go to my sister. What do you think? So this is cute. 2 layers of the same die, just a different size. I did run this one through one of our backdrop dies. I'm going to work with the backdrop die today and show you some different samples, which will be a lot of fun. But my mom is a tea drinker, and we call her Tea Grammy. Even my friends do. Even older people. Everybody just calls her Tea Grammy. So this is cute. To my best tea. I love that. The toaster's cute. You can switch out the toast for waffles. This is also one of the new foundation dies, and so is this one here. It's just upside down as opposed to going in this direction, which I think a lot of people have used it. I just turned it upside down. I loved it. And I used old flower Fimos in here so that you could get the flowers here and the flowers here and the flowers here. I loved it. This is a nice bright blue, and this blue from the paper brought out the gorgeous blue flowers here. Loved it, and you're the perfect blend. I think we are the perfect blend. So I put 2 hearts. I think this would be great for an anniversary card, Valentine's Day, or just a friendship. I think it's great. So those are the cards that I made with the Cheerful Kitchen Kit. And I'm just going to set these aside so that we can move on to something else. But this is how I just wanted to show you how I package up my kits. Different than Ginger. I think different than all the other girls. I just use these big envelopes. I don't usually keep my paper in here because I want to use this paper on a lot of different things, and I'm going to show you that I did today. But the kit comes with the die guide, which is fantastic. It comes with the stamps, the foam, the acetate, all of these dies, which I do not keep as coordinated as Ginger does, but I still use an envelope, and all the toppings are in here too. So just an idea of how I store my kits. Again, this paper pad is not normally in there. I'll remove that later when I pick up the mess that I'm going to be making here today. Speaking of which, on the chair next to me is my snoring Frenchie. So if you hear anything that's abnormal, that would just be him. So today we're having a 25% off the entire site-wide. Everything. Things that are on discount already. If it's, for example, the background flower drop. Let me find that. The background flower die. Backdrop die flower. How about that? This is on sale right now. It was $24.95. It's $14.95. And then an additional 25% off. So everything on the site, even if it's under the sale category, the National Scrapbooking Day category, or a regular priced item, everything is 25% off. So today and tomorrow is your last day to shop. So make sure you get what you need. Now, if you do purchase $100, you will receive a free gift. Some of you have already seen the new crate and the toppings that come in it. Whoops, I did make a mess of that. And it comes with this little tag, but that has been sold out. So it comes with the Queen and Company little logo on the side. I have these here because I am going to use some of these new toppings. There's 5 or 6 or 7 new ideas for toppings that came out this weekend too. So I recommend, or not toppings, bling. These are my favorite right here. I'm going to show you. It's a whole rainbow of these pearls, and I love the pearls. So get those as a bundle. So instead of receiving the crate that we have run out of, we are gifting this little rolling cart, and it's adorable. I wish I could get one of these in real life size because I want to drink from it. I really do. And then it has 3 shelves, and it has toppers, like shelf tops, and a plant, like of course many of you have in your room, I'm sure, and a little bottle of toppings. How cute is this? I love it. I love it. It's adorable. So I'm not sure if I can hold all these cute items up and the cart at the same time. So this is your free gift going forward. It's a great, cute little embellishment to your crafting area. Hopefully you'll like that. Now, I want to get started on what I'm going to show you today. And I'm going to work with the flower stems, or I want to show you the flower stems. This is how I package up mine. There is a little piece of magnetic paper or magnetic sheet here, and I just keep my dies on here. And I want to show you 2 ideas that I had. So this is an animal, one of our critters. We have several kits with several critters. Grab any critter that is your favorite or that you like, or maybe a dinosaur for a young boy or anyone. You can grab one of the playful pals, maybe the llama, whatever, and add some of these adorable flower stem dies. These are available right now. They are $12.95, but they're on sale, of course, this weekend for 25% off. So you can see that I have the stem is in green and my flowers are in white. So I'm going to show you real quick. If you flip that over, you can see that the whole stem was green, and I kept it pieced together. And then I cut it again in white, trimmed off the stem, and placed the flower on top. That's how you get the varying colors of the flowers. Isn't that cute? This flower is just adorable. But my favorite card that I made was this one. I love you more than words can say. This is from one of our older stamp sets from the bundle we sold. Grab any stamp that you want and have that posted right here. I of course did a rainbow. Again, what I did for this, I did it backwards on this one. So I print them all or cut them all in yellow, red, orange going forward. And then I cut them in green and then trimmed the flower off of it and just placed the green down on the pink. So it doesn't matter which way you go, backwards, forwards, whatever. That's how you change the top color. You just print 2 or cut 2 in the colors you want and the stem that you want, and then you trim it off and you place them together. Isn't that cute? I love it. And under here, there is a little bling, teal bling. Can't quite see it because the green is in the way, but I love it. And I love a rainbow. Love it. So anyway, these are the flower stems. They are also available right now. Let's set these aside. And I also wanted to tell you that for this weekend, discount is not valid with any other coupons or reward codes. So you either get the 25% off or you pay fully and use your crowns. You cannot use crowns this weekend, and you will not be earning crowns during this National Scrapbooking Day sale. Just wanted to make sure that you knew that. We also have a higher level of volume for our orders over a weekend like this, so we ask you to have some patience with us. Our warehouse workers will be going crazy and try to get your orders out as quickly as possible, and just have a little grace, and they will get those out as soon as possible. Here are some new embellishments or bling. I love these. I do love the clear, the see-through, like the translucent, I guess, idea of these. These are so cute. And I like that there's so many because I like to overstack my cards with bling, if you know me. We also have these teardrops in a yellow, a teal, and a white. Perfect for rainy days. These are the perfect colors that you would need to embellish your cards. Again, here is my favorite new release. Don't have these in colored order, but they're amazing. So this is yellow and that is orange. You can see the difference when they're beside each other. Look how cute these are. I love them. What I wish I could get is a brown and a black. I love those neutral colors that add a little pizzazz to your cards as well. So those are fantastic. And now these are the rhinestones. Here is your brown and your black. This comes as a bundle. And again, not in colored order because I've picked through it and used a lot of it. But let's talk about the brown and the black. You get this 1, 2, 3 of browns, and they're a little varying in color. Then you get 3 different styles of black, large, medium, small. Same thing over here, you get some pearls and some clear. And then these are all rhinestones. So you start with the larger and you go to medium and small, and you get 2 different colored purples, 2 different colored greens, and so on and so on. So this is a fantastic bundle, and I don't know, what do you think? Maybe a couple hundred rhinestones definitely adds up very quickly. So I think that's a really good sale, a really good deal, with the fact that you're also going to get 25% off. So go grab those. I highly recommend them. And I'm going to put these back because I want to grab them in a minute to show you a couple of different cards that I made with the backdrop flower die. Here are the cards that I made, and I used this die in several different ways. I cut the complete panel out, I inked it, and then I dropped water and I dropped paint on it, let it dry for such a long time it seemed, and then I added a flower from our fancy flower kit and a sentiment. But if you can see, in every center of the flowers, I put a gem. That's why I think that this, where did it go? These little rhinestones are necessary. Look how many I would have to put in all these centers. I didn't have these at the time. And then I would feel like I didn't use them all up too quickly. So I recommend the rhinestones for sure. I recommend all of them, even these clear ones. I can't think of the name right off the bat, but these, look how many are in each sheet. Let's just get one color out so you can see that. Look how many are on each sheet. So obviously there's hundreds of these as well, and several different colors, probably 7 or 8 different colors. I'd have to check the website, but you would not be missing out, and you would be getting a great deal. Again, 25% off this weekend. So this is a cute card I made. Loved it. Felt like I got a little dirty. Wasn't sure if I loved it at the time, but I do love it now. And I did ink around my leaves a little bit to give them a little bit more depth. And I was already getting dirty, so I stayed dirty. This is my favorite card that I made with this. Of course, you can find flowers in so many of our foundation dies. So many of our kits include little flowers. So many ways and places that you can find flowers. We also have a banner. We've put those out in several of our different foundation dies as well. Super cute when you try to keep it with the color palette of the paper. I can't remember which paper pad this is. Was it? I don't think it's Safari. I can't recall what paper pad that is, but look how cute these are. But look what brings it all together. This round circle, I think this is from 21. My absolute all-time favorite die of any foundation set there is out there. If they say you can only use one die for the rest of your life, it's this circle with these circle border. I love it. You'll see I usually use it every new release. I use it at least once. So what I did here was I cut. What did I do first? I wanted to tell you the proper way to do it. I did it backwards, and then so what I did was I cut a panel, and then I cut the circle out. But when that happened, I lost a lot of the detail in the daisy dies. So you want to cut your circle first, the die that you want to be shown first, and then run it through your daisy die, and you'll get as much detail as you see here. I did it backwards once, and then it just flattens it and squishes it and takes away some of your detail. Let me show you this card. This card is where it's really evident that that is going to be a problem, and I didn't realize that until I was done. If you can see here, I ran this through the machine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So I cut a panel, and then I ran it through 5 times. You can see here how nice and prominent it is, and then it gets weaker, 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 and not as much detail. So if you cut all these panels first and then run them through on your die carefully, because it's almost the same size, you'll get a much brighter and more prominent flower with the stitching. Do you see that? Is that visible? This just ties this whole card together with the flowers and then the colors. It just goes well. So these are my 3 cards that I made with this backdrop flower die. And again, I just keep it in a folder like this. We've got several backdrop dies, and I love them all. So I use them all. I know Ginger uses them consistently, and so do the other girls. But what I want to do with you today is also share with you the new foundations. I know we've been through this. This is how I keep mine. You don't want too big of a binder because it gets way too heavy. And I find this works really well for me. Let's move to the new dies. Whoops, that's not the new one. All right. So first new foundation die is 38. And you're going to have a glare because it's an acetate. So I print this off of the website. I just snatch it and then I print it on my computer. And then I label the top corner what die this is. And then I punch holes in a magnetic sheet. Sometimes they move, but there's 2 sides to each magnetic sheet. One that grips better and one that doesn't grip as well. So here is foundation 38. And if you'll see, this die fits inside of this die, and that's what I used for my refrigerator. And if you grab the bundle, you will see that this die fits inside of 39's die. Let's grab it real quick. So here's the 39 die, and here's the 38 die, and they fit inside each other too. I feel as though this is very churchy, very regal, very fancy. I love it. And this is a different outline than this one. So it's a little different, but they fit right inside of each other. And this is how I store my new foundation dies. All these arrows, so cute. I like this new sentiment die. It's flat on this side, so it could go to the edge of a card. And whoops, and then it can have a little bit of detail on the right side of the card. Isn't that cute? I love it. So anyway, great new designs. I love those, and I hope you do too. And before we leave today, I am going to give you a sneak peek of foundation number 40. So if you stick around to the end, you're going to see something, you're going to see that 40 is pretty impressive as well. So, but first, let's go ahead and get crafty together. I'm trying to separate out. I've got 2 cards we're going to make together, and I put them in the same little bin, but I'm going to get dirty with you. But first, I'm going to show you how I created this card, but I'm going to do it properly, and we're going to change things up a bit. So I did use the paper pad from the Cheerful Kitchen. Look at these teacups. When I saw this kit, so most of you probably go right to the shakers. I saw the teacups, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to do a rainbow card of the teacups. That's just where my mind goes. I love the shakers too, but I also want to show you how to make cards that aren't part of the shakers. Like, it would be super cute to line up the salt and pepper too, and do those in color order. Or I know there's white salt, pink Himalayan salt, all that kind of stuff. That would be super fun, I think. So what I did was I cut this shape of a die first, and then I carefully placed all these dies in on the backdrop, and I used a non-sticky tape. This, you can use washi tape or something like this, and I taped them all together on the back, flipped it over, ran it through my machine, and I got 5 nice crispy daisy-like flowers on each strip. So all I did was put foam tape behind all of those and place them down. And I just did this so that we could make this a little quicker, because I know that you guys can create all these teacups in any color that you want. And sorry, need to go right side up. So anyway, you can create them in any color that you want, any style that you want, but this detail on these strips really give it a nice detail to the card. It just brings the level up just a little bit, and using foam tape also gives it more dimension. So all I did with these teacups is put a little bit of foam on the back of each one, and I have these set up for me because you do not want to see me trying to figure out what is straight and what is not straight, because that's a little time consuming for me, just as obviously taking that piece of foam tape off. So I have a question for you, and I would love to know what you think about the rainbow order while I work on this. And I just dumped that on the clean floor that I cleaned yesterday. So, okay, do you go pink, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple? Or do you go red, pink, yellow, orange, green, blue, purple? Where do you stick white? And where would you stick black? I need to know, because it wasn't an argument between me and Wendy, but we both had a different opinion. And I want to know, obviously you know mine, because I'm putting pink before red, but I was at a crop recently, and my friend is an art teacher's daughter, so we forced her to text her dad to find out what he said. And he said what Wendy thinks. And she also, we Googled it, of course, because that would be where you get your answer, right? If it's on Google, it's real and absolute. So we Googled it as well, and Google also says red, pink. But this is my card, so I'm going to do pink, red. Isn't that cute? Pink, red, right there. You can switch these if that's you. I wouldn't, but you can. All right, so then I have a sentiment to my bestie, and I'm just going to place this in the center. Oops. I'd never push too hard because I never get it in the center right off the bat. Or second time either. Let's see. There we go. That's cute. Look how adorable this is. But I do think with adding these flowers and these being teapots, we need bling. So I'm going to get out the rhinestones, hopefully get them all out here. And I'm an over embellisher. So I'm going to start with pink. I'm going to get my little nifty pen here, or this little grabber thing here. And I am going to do some light pink, I think. I'm going to do some light pink and maybe some dark pink in with it as well. And I love to put bling all around my card. I know Ginger likes to group together her little gems and jewels, bling, if you will. I like to scatter it and just have it everywhere. So that's what we're going to do. Again, your card, you do what you like. And I don't always have a rhyme or reason or a method to how I place my stuff down. I just kind of try to do what I like. And you know what would be really cute? If I did one with like bubbles because it's steaming. Ooh, that would be really cute. Okay, so I don't know. Am I done with pink? I'm not sure. So we'll just set it aside. Now I've got clear and red here. Only so much you can do with red. There's lots of different color pinks, but not so much different reds. This is such a helpful tool right here, but sometimes you just may not be able to grab it properly right away. Whoa. Okay, I think that wants to go right here. And sometimes I also add more adhesive behind these just to make sure that they will stick and stay permanently. Little drop of light glue, like a little clear drop of a minimal amount of glue. I think that looks good too. All right, so then we're going to go to yellow, and I believe this is my yellow. Look at these two different ones. I think it's yellow and orange. Let me see if there's an orange in here. Let's see. I don't see an orange. So I do think that this is orange and yellow together. So we'll just stick with yellow on this one. Although the orange I think would work too. It's very similar in color. I don't usually typically look back towards my other teacup or what surrounds it for bling, because I don't want it to be repetitive. I just want it to be completely random where I place my gems. So I'm not going to follow the patterns that are up there. I'll just place them wherever I like, which is everywhere. So there's yellow, and then I'm going to find my green. I do like both of these greens, but I'm going to stick with the light green, I think, on this one. Stick them there. Well, you can probably see I do end up repetitively placing these, but it's not always in the same spot. So I just keep going. Should have had some of these on here for you. Oh, I need one more little one. There. And then I'm going to go light blue and dark blue. And I know there's a piece of paper here for this. So you can see it well. Again, I'm an overblinger, and I have a friend who makes really beautiful cards, but she doesn't bling at all. And that's crazy to me. Do you bling? Do you like a little bling? A lot of bling? Are you an overblinger like myself? I love it. And the benefit for me is that I have a lot of the bling because Wendy is so generous to her design team. I feel it. I used to hoard it, and I didn't want to use too much of it because I'd be afraid I'd run out. But we get so much, and I can't keep up with what she brings in stock because we're always creating new things, and it's just a lot of fun. So if I like overblinging, and then that's what I'm going to do. I can't wait to read your comments. I want to know who here overblings like myself and who here is a minimalist or a non-blinger. Are you a non-blinger, Julie Rumrill? I know you are. You do it on occasion, but I know most of your cards are just so clean and crisp and beautiful. So did you get to see all of the new items that are in stock? What do you think is your favorite new release from this weekend? I'm not going to lie. I think for me, it is all the new bling. I love the kit. That's a given. But I love the new bling. What do you think? Isn't that cute? Too much bling? Just enough? I love it. I agree, Deborah. The more, the better. Kathy, yay. Cynthia's an overblinger too. Are you this much of an overblinger? I need to know that. Ha, I love it. So there's my card. Isn't that cute? Same card, done properly. Let's lift these together. Let's see. See how light this got and see how distinct this is? That is from running your cut through first, your shape that you want it to be, and then run it through on the background die. So for here, you would cut your circle first, and then you would run it through on your backdrop die. I love it. Isn't that cute? Are you ready to get dirty with me? Because that's what's happening next. I'm going to use the wacky words and the backdrop die. So what you need to know is the wacky words are available this weekend too. But if you're going to get dirty, don't wear white. And what color am I wearing? Heather gray. That's not smart. Don't do that. Don't do that. So this is just a craft mat. You can use one of those like what are they called? Sill mats? I can't think of the name of it. You can use like parchment paper, you can use cardboard, whatever works for you to prevent the mess from getting on your beautiful mats, okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to create this background together. So I got everything out that I need, and I cut two just in case I make a little flub with you, and we're going to do this in rainbow order. So I've got my little ink brushes, which you can find nearly anywhere, Amazon or whatever, and I also found some inks that I think went in rainbow order. Now, I didn't necessarily try these to see if I like these, but this is how it's going to go. And I got to keep it to a minimal line. Like, I can't go too crazy with the line. So if I go, am I going to go pink, red, or am I going to go red, pink? Pink, red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Okay, what should I do? I need to know your comments. Let me look back. Julie, come to my house. Help me organize, and I'll show you how to use bling. That will work. Okay, so when you cook spaghetti sauce, don't wear white either. Absolutely. And don't go to an Italian restaurant like I did last night and wear white, although I didn't wear white last night. Silicone mat. That's it. Thank you, Tammy. So am I doing pink, red, or red, pink? What is your rainbow order? I need to know. And Wendy, you don't get to give your rainbow order because it's not right. Google says it's right, but I don't. All right, girls, I don't know if there's any guys here, but we are going to do it in my rainbow order, and I'm going to start with pink. So I'm going to get a little brush. I'm going to dab it and dab it here. So I want to just gently rub over the ink. I can pick up some ink from over there too. I know that we don't typically do inks and stuff with Queen & Company, but if you're an inker and you're a dirty girl, you can join our club. It is absolutely fun. It is so fun. And do you see just how it picks up the stitching and makes it more obvious? Oh, who's a red pink? Kathleen? Oh, girls. Wendy, don't roll your eyes at me. Oh, you guys are all wrong. Anyway, I don't know where I learned my rainbow. Obviously, I'm wrong. Obviously. I know that, but I still like it, so I'm going to go with it. All right, so I don't have I do have a little red one I can use. This is clear, so I'm going to use pink, and now I'm going to go to red. Any color you want, and I'm going to start at the edge and bring it in. Pink, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Okay, maybe I need to go a little thicker with my lines. But I don't want to go too thick because I don't want to not have enough space for all my colors. So I just dab off on the side, and then I can pick some up off of the side, off of these mats that you get. Okay, so there's my red. I want more. I want it brighter because I want to wet it. I'm going to show you how to do that too and get all kinds of... See this blotch? That doesn't matter. You see it now, but you may not be able to see it in a minute. So I'm going to go back with the pink, and I'm going to blend these two together. It's where the color magic happens. They create an in-between color. And I don't want it to be patchy. I want it to be a nice solid color. And I'm using Distress inks. These, when you spray them with water, get a little blendy, they get a little raindrop type things on them. Or you can just use regular inks. Whatever your method is, that's what you do. Doesn't matter what kind of inks. Okay, so there's my red, pink and red, and now I'm going to go to orange. But my problem here is, are my orange and red going to match? Pink, red, orange. I've got 6 colors, so I'm about halfway down. I wish I could talk to you or see your comments at the same time I'm doing this. Whoa, look at the orange. You guys. Oh my Lord, that's fantastic. So I'm going to blend it a little bit up into the red, and then I'm going to go back. I'm going to get a little bit of red, And I'm going to come back in and blend it together and see what happens. And then I'm going to get the orange. I think this is gooky enough, like it's got enough juice on it. So I'm going to pick up the orange and go up to the red. What do you think? That orange is gorgeous. That was a good choice. Okay, so orange is going to stay right here. Orange, now yellow. Now this is going to be a lot lighter, so I'm going to be careful with blending. Let's see how this works. Now you can see that I had a little bit of some other color on my brush. I don't care. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. But so now I'm going to try to bring in this bright yellow. This should be a bright yellow. It's not, because I messed up my brushes that I need to clean. And I'm getting more of a dirty yellow, but I still like it. So I'm going to blend it up with the orange and blend down with the orange. And then those two kind of mix together. All right. Yellow, orange, green. All right, we're going with green now. And I do not have a green brush. So I'm going to use my bigger brush, but be careful. I hope. So I'm going to go right in the center. I'm going to do little circles. Just want to bring out, I can always add more, but I can't take it away. So I'm trying to go gently at first. And I'm using, what color is this? Mowed Lawn. It's a great color. And do you see the stitching on this? How crazy it's popped off of the page or of the card? That reminds me, you guys, how did you get started with card making? Did you start right off the bat card making? Or did you come in from scrapbooking and card making to card making? Or card making to card making and not even scrapbooked before? It's National Scrapbooking Weekend, but it's about paper, if you ask me. Paper, bling, decorations, cards, anything made with paper. Okay, so there's my green. I'm going to set that aside. Oh, you know what? I got to grab a purple because I think I'm going to have enough room for a purple. So we'll grab that in a second. Let's go to the green and the blue. Let's find a blue. Again, no little one, so I'm going to have to use a big one, but I want to be really careful. Don't want to go too thick. So we're going to have to run over there into my craft room. I'm on my dining room table. Where do you guys craft? I have a room, but I wanted to set up a bunch of lights, and I'll share a photo with you over at Royal. I took a picture of my setup so that you can see it. It's like really rednecked. But I like it, and I think you can see me really well. Okay, so there's my blue. I want to mix in my green a little bit. I don't want to pick up any more. Oh, look how well that blended together. Okay, bear with me. You can come with me. I'll talk to you, but we're going to go get a purple. And of course, the purple is in behind. So we've got to do some quick maneuvering of things. And we're just going to grab a first purple I see. So I'm grabbing a darker purple. Okay. And again, I don't have a little one, so I'm going to do a dark one or a big one. And that didn't take me long. I'm going to mix in purple. But Queen and Company is known pretty well for their rainbows in their items. You know, mostly all their bling comes in rainbow order. You can get almost every color. You get paper pads with beautiful bright colors. I can't count how many the paper pads have different colored rainbows, different tones of rainbows. It's just fun. All the bling, all the toppings come in rainbow. We're just lucky that crafting just is an array of sunshine and pretty colors. And I wonder if that's what keeps us happy. I know it keeps me happy. I need to get that blended into that blue better. Okay. So I think that's pretty good, except for the red. The red is blotchy. That's not the ink. That's the user. So let's go back to red. Do not put green on my card. So let's go back to red and try to bring more red in here. and stop it from being so blotchy. Is that better? I think that's better. Then we'll just take the pink brush, blend those together a little bit better, and the orange brush, and blend those a little bit better. What do you think? Bright, sunshiny, gorgeous. Now I'm going to show you a trick and get my mess picked up a little tiny bit. So my trick is I just take one of these, what are these? Chamois rags? I don't even know. One of these rags and a bottle of water. And we did give away water things earlier, a couple of years ago. So all you do is drip some water on your card if you want blotches. You can also put water in your hand. Do you see this one melting? See how that just melted that color? You can put water in your hand and sprinkle like this as well. You want big blotches, little blotches. You can use a paintbrush if you want little blotches. I'm okay with big blotches. I want something on the pink though. Okay, that's enough for me. And I'm going to damp or pat dry my ink. Look at that. Do you see what it did? It made just water droplets. That's the distress inks, not my magic, not my idea. It's just one of the magic tricks of distress inks. So before I make too much of a mess, I'm going to wipe up my little silicone mat here and move this out of the way so we can continue our card. Should I do an after photo of the mat? You should see how organized it is when I first put my stuff together to do a live here, and then how disorganized it is towards the end. So I have a card base here. I want to make sure that it's opening the proper way. And I'm going to place this down on my card front. I am going to use foam tape. I also should seriously own stock in some sort of a foam tape company. This one is 3M or Scotch. I don't know, but I wish I worked for one of these companies so I could get it for free, because there's probably on each one of my cards is $10 worth of foam tape. But you can go flat, and then that would make it much easier for you to mail to your friends. I know we have a lot of shakers, but a lot of our stuff also can be used flat. You don't have to shake everything, and that will also stretch your kit further. So if you really like somebody, you can make them a shaker card. If you kind of like somebody, you can make them a non-shaker card. Right? Is that the law of card making? I'm not sure. It's my law. And we make the cards, so we get to make up our minds. So I'm really quite disappointed in all of you who think it's red and pink first, because I like pink than red. And I'm anxious to see what you said about the where you're going to stick white and where you're going to stick black. Okay, there we go. So now I did bring out, where did I set that? The wacky words, and I chose thanks because we all need a thank you card. So what I did is I cut it in black 3 times, and I layered it together, and then I cut the outline in the vellum so you could still see my color. But this is how I glued them to the vellum. You only want glue behind what touches the vellum. If it squirts out, you're going to see the vellum. I use a thick vellum too, and then it doesn't buckle, but thin vellum does have a tendency to buckle. So when I put this on my card, I want adhesive, again, only behind where the black will be shown, because if I cover this whole thing with glue, you'll see the glue behind the vellum. So we're going to place it only in the places that have the thank you in black, or thanks in black. Whoops. I don't want you to see that or that. What do you think? All right. Now this is still a little damp. I would typically wait longer. I may have to go back tomorrow and re-ink this, or not re-ink it, re-glue this. Does that look like it's in the center to you? I think that looks pretty good. I am going to use a little pressure on that, and that comes from a friend of mine. And then I also made a sentiment. Thanks. Your kindness means so much. And I'm going to add that right to the bottom. I thought about going across it, but I think it takes away from the thanks. So I'm going to go down at the bottom. And I want to see this. Whoops. The tool went up my sleeve. I want to see if it's in the center. So I'm just going to use a little tool, my lifter upper thingy, and just place that down. And that looks like it's not in the center. So don't push too hard, and you can maneuver. That looks like it might be in the center. Yeah, that's a lot better. And is it straight? Great question. So there we go. We've created a new card with our new backdrop die. This is gorgeous. It adds so much detail. Look at how you can see the stitching just pop with all that color. Isn't that gorgeous? And that was fun to do a rainbow card. I'm not going to lie. That was a great time. So I just want to remind you again that we have a lot of items for sale today. Everything on the website is 25% off. Here are my other cards that I made with this backdrop die. Aren't those fun? I thought that was fun just to show you a couple of different ideas of what you can do with our backdrop die, to think outside of the box. I also dropped an enamel on the floor, and it's stuck, but it's back on track. Don't forget, our flower stem dies are also available, and so is our Cheerful Kitchen Kit. But I did promise you a sneak, so I'm going to show you foundation number 40. Oh, where are my wreath cards? I was going to show you those too, but I don't know where they went. Now, the wreath cards are on back order. I even created a card that I was going to make with you today. I don't know where it went. Maybe I'll do a little video in our royalty page and show you quickly how my wreath card will come together. Oh my gosh, it's all right here. Right in front of me, ladies, gentlemen, if there's any gentlemen here. But let me show you the wreath card that I was going to make with you really quick. And all my wreaths just fell off. We're all human. We all get a little scattered. And just today, with this wreath idea, I'm a little scattered. So here we go. Let's first show you the sneak peek. Let's just take a little breather, show you the sneak peek. So I did show you 38 with a glare, 34 or 39 with a glare. Sorry about that. And look at 40. Who's excited about this one? Ooh, do I have 41 in here? See that outline right there? Look at this. Aren't those cute? I love this. I love this shape right here with all the circles going around it. Always a good quote. These are going to be great for critters. Any people, critters, mermaids, whatever that we have, these will be great speech bubbles. And I love this. This reminds me of a cameo. Remember the old pictures of the old people and and they're in this circle and a cameo? Love it. And this is going to be fun. And of course, there's always a great scalloped florally border. Very cute. So there's a sneak peek of number 40 that will be coming to us soon. It's not here yet, but it is coming. So remember, we also had wreath dies. And here are all the wreaths. These foundations came out this past weekend as well. And I want to share with you the cards that I made. I thought I was wrapping up, and here we have a card made with 3 wreaths. Actually, I just cut 2 wreaths, and then I cut it in half, and I just used pieces of it in each corner. Maybe could have put something down here too. So what I did was I cut the wreath 3 times in green for each one, and then I cut it in yellow, orange, and pink. Then I carefully fussy cut with my intricate scissors each flower. If you look close, you can see that it's definitely been hand cut. And then I carefully place them back where they belonged on the greenery to get a colorful greenery wreath. You also could just use flowers. Don't we have like these epoxy flowers some of you may have? Not sure if they're in stock, but there's always an option. You could just use bling. The bling in the center of these would be really pretty, but I'd already done the background with a various bling. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. And then, of course, we all need just a generic, simple sympathy card. This one is gorgeous. Again, I used one of our backdrop dies that was out a couple years ago. And then I used the wreath that looks like, where's my wreath? Did I drop another wreath? I've dropped another wreath. So I used the wreath that looks like this. It looks kind of like the wood, the bendy wood people make wreaths out of. I love that. And then I just took small I tripled it and layered it together, all in the same color so you don't see any white peeking. So it's all done with craft paper. And then I cut some small flowers, centered those with gems, and then I put the center of one of the wreaths back in the center with the sentiment on it. And I can tell that I used a brown to stick with the color of the card. Isn't that gorgeous? That's a beautiful, simple sympathy card that gets your point across. I love it. So I also had an idea for you, and I'm going to share this just really quick with you. I put this card together. I'm using the Playful Pals shape. Where did he go? Here he is. We're going to use the otter, I think, is what we cut and I cut and used. We're going to also use the autumn toppings. If you look in his belly, he's got some triple colored flowers in there, red, orange, and yellow. It's called the autumn toppings, I believe. And then we're going to add the wreath to this cute otter. And this is all from the safari paper. And so what I wanted to do is I want to place him in the center of the card. Then I want to add this wreath around his neck, like it's dangling. So I'm going to match these wreaths. I don't want these wreaths matched perfectly. And I think I'm going to put it like this. So I want my otter to be close to the bottom. So I'm just going to pop him up and put a little glue right there so I can place him down without really moving him much. And put a little behind his tail. And with my finger, wipe off all the extra. And then I want to add this greenery. So I'm going to add this piece right here. Try not to get glue on my finger too much. Then I'm going to add this piece at a different angle. Whoops. Let me re-glue that bottom one. Cute. So you know how the deer at winter might have the wreath around its neck? That's what I'm trying to do here, or my intentions. Will it come out that way? I'm not sure, but we're going to try. Okay. In my head it worked, and hopefully it will work on paper for you now. So I'm going to add some adhesive. I did take a little piece of the foam tape from the inside of the body and put it behind his head for stability. And I'm going to turn his head a little bit to the left, like he's being inquisitive, or he's wondering why there's a wreath around his head. Isn't that cute? And then I'm going to just tack it down here carefully with a tiny drop of glue so that it dangles. Or you could move the wreath up a little bit too, but I wanted it to be as though it were hanging like on a deer head. Like maybe the vision isn't quite there, but I still like it. Now I'm going to add some of these cute little flowers all around. I'm going to do pink and what did I choose? I chose red, yellow, and orange. So I'm going to place these all around. These are the 3 colors that I chose. So we're going to add some flowers to this wreath. I know that you've got some flowers in your stash from us somewhere along the way. You may have die cuts, like the foundations, or you may even have some of these flowers. It doesn't matter. Now, these flowers make life easier. You don't have to cut anything. And they're ready for you right now. Isn't that cute? Ooh, I need another one up here. What color? Yellow. Oh, I love it. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's cute. It is cute. Maybe the vision is almost there. Now I need another orange. Where am I going to put my orange? I need to have a balanced amount. I am going to put it maybe right in here. Okay. And then, of course, you can add some of the dots that come on these epoxy flowers too if you want to. You can ramp up the colors with that. You could do yellow, red, and orange dots. And this guy's not coming off the paper or the plastic. Isn't this adorable? So add this wreath around. Oh my gosh. What about the elephant or the safari animals? Or I just think these are so cute. You can put it around anything. What about the mammoth, woolly mammoth? Don't we have one of those? Or what about some of the sea creatures? And you could act like this is sea kelp or something like that. These wreaths can be used for so many different things. There's just so much you can do with them. So that is the card that I lost, and it was right in front of me. Isn't he cute? I love him. I think he needs a sentiment. I'll have to add a sentiment, and then I'll add it to the royalty page. But I am so glad you guys came here today to visit with me, to hang out with me, to go around and be messy with me, dirty with me, lose your mind with me. It's been a great day, and I hope you enjoy National Scrapbooking Day. Head to the website for 25% off, and we will see you again soon. Enjoy your crafty day. Bye-bye.